number one.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because this is a matchup that I would be really surprised if either of them have practice or are familiar with. These are two decks that are not in the top decks breakdown. There's a good chance the first time they see how the cards interact. So it's going to be a lot of figuring out on the spot for both players. We do see Odion winning the Dyro, though, and drawing Terraforming to be able to search that ever-so-good Treasure of the Kings.
Yeah, and alongside that, we're also going to chain that Dimensional Shifter. So that's 2 cards limited in the hand of Aaron. So hopefully we're holding more of those as well.
How is the Dimensional Shifter into the Clown Crew deck?
It's quite interesting. I just need to double check some of the monsters. You can still perform your tribute summons. You can still get your monsters to the field. The question becomes is whether the monsters need to be tributed, which is exactly what it is. Yeah. So all of the cards, or the extra deck cards and the ritual monster have effects when they are tributed. So for example, a ritual monster, you get to use one of 2 options. So you get to shuffle all ritual monsters from the field and graveyards back into the deck, the exact same for the XZs, Synchros and Fusions, but then they also have additional effects on top of those. So the benefit is they don't need to go to the graveyard. Yeah, so it might be a bit kind of like how Mitsurugi is. Mitsurugi monsters do enjoy being in the graveyard, but they can function even being tributed outside of the graveyard. So we're going to be seeing here him adding the... Is it a Circuit? Yeah, so we're using getting access to Circuit. We've got 2 set cards already. One of them will probably be Apophis the Swamp Deity. Yeah. Now, this is also quite interesting. There's a couple of cards in the main deck on this one that you would normally associate with the side deck. So it's going to be quite an interesting build, and one of those being the Verdict of Anubis. Yeah, so a lot of very strong going first options in this deck with Solemn cards and the Verdict of Anubis. So it's a lot to ask from the Clowns, but let's see if we can get a circus show. Yeah, there's definitely some components in the Clown Crew strategy that there are the weak spots. So the Clown Crew strategy themselves, the Bianca Viso is a level 7 monster, so instantly it usually requires 2 tributes. It does have an additional beneficial effect that it can tribute off a Fusion, Xyz, Synchro. I believe it includes the Ritual monster as 1 tribute rather than 2. I see. But then keeping that in mind, there is a card called Malabaresme which will give you 2 of those materials already. So there's a lot of tribute fodder that the deck can achieve. It's all going to come down to how familiar Aaron is going to be with that particular one as well. Yeah, it's interesting because like a lot of the interrupts from the Odion deck are very strong, right? You have the access to Silhouette Rabbit. We're going to see him combining the Aphobis here into Granite Gallant, which might end up searching like usually the Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Ooh, so with the Gallant Granite, I believe that's a Dominus Spark. Oh, that's a cool thing about, yeah, there's a Spark. There's a benefit of this deck, right, of the Clown Crew. They're all Lights and Darks. So the ones that you really want to focus on are Lights and Darks, yeah, exactly that. And we've also got a couple of interesting... Oh, okay, so we're on the Nouvelle package as well. I love the Nouvelle package in this deck. Yeah, the synergy between the Nouvelle cards, being able to add the Qualifier is what kind of gets them linking together. And that was a pretty good Dominus Spark, right? Basically, the Dominus Spark traded with the Lord of Heavenly Prison there. Yeah, which I think is a very good trade-off here. And now it's really going to come down to trading off and starting off... I'm going to let you try this one. Okay, I know how my French. Concours de cuisine? Ooh. Culinary confrontation. Yes. I did my French in school. So you choose a Nouvelle Pendulum monster and a Paticiel Pendulum monster from your hand, deck, or extra deck, and you special summon one to each player's field. Yeah, so what I love about this is whether you decide to give your opponent the Fusion monster or the main deck effect monster, the main deck effect monster will search you out your Clown Crew Flair, which is your starter for your Clown Crew strategy, which is the biggest benefit of that one, and that's going to get hit with an Infinite Impermanence. Okay. So what does the Patissa have any beneficial effect for Luna while it's on Aaron's field? Not particularly, but the idea is that if you tribute it off, there is a card in the Clown Crew strategy that during the end phase you get to draw cards equal to the number of monsters you tributed of different summoning types, so Fusion, Xyz, Pendulums. So the benefit of the Fusion monster is it's treated as a Fusion monster and a Pendulum, so it's a kind of a double tribute. So I believe the Preparation of Rites was activated on the Infinite Impermanence column. No, but the Verdict of Anubis also negated it. Ooh. So I believe both players might have not realized. Yeah, it seems. But it works out. It works out. It's basically the equivalent of it being activated somewhere else. So very true. We choose to use the Verdict there to banish the level 1 Novels and negate the preparation. Not pre-prep, preparation. Preparation, yeah. So Aaron's plan here seems to be denying Luna from access to Clown Crew Fire. Well, so Luna's just revealed the Clown Crew Flare, so we already have that.
Yeah.
I feel that Aaron might have been activating some of these cards a little bit early, which might show a bit of unfamiliarity with how the Clown Crews are, because the Clown Crews themselves are really kind of versatile and very, very resourceful with what they do. As long as they have the correct pieces in the hand, of course, to complete an entire puzzle, you need to have all the correct pieces in the correct place, which is exactly what it looks like Luna's going to be doing here.
To make a circus, it takes a lot of different artists.
There we go. There's the reason we brought you on this one.
No worries. I thought it was a Yu-Gi-Oh, but turns out it's just a pun ability. But we do see searching one of the traps.
Yeah, so this is the Clown Crew Soiree. Clown Crew Soiree Operations. So this one gives you the ability to basically get you access to your Malabaresme. Not Malabaresme, sorry, your materials for your tribute summon. So you get to special on 2 Clown Crew monsters from the deck and or extra deck, ignoring their summon conditions, very important. But you can also alternatively add a Clown Crew monster from the deck to the hand. So this is all about having those different pieces come together for you, because without Bianca Viso right now, you don't have presence on the field.
Yeah. So we are here dealing with the Dimension Shifter. It might have held a bit on Lunastar. And we're going to go back to Aaron. So as he activated the effect of the field spell, we got Metal for Ghost Ogre.
Yeah, so the Ghost Ogre was quite effective on this one to try and shut off the field spell, exactly as you mentioned. We've got this one set card. I'm not too sure exactly what we're going to try and be adding here. Maybe we either take the damage, which isn't the worst thing to have, and then you search out your Bianca Viso if you need it. Alternatively, what you can do as well is activate the trap card to be a bit more defensive and get you access to 2 of your Clown Crew monsters, whether that be Fiends in the form of the Xyz. You could also go for the Diabolo in the form of the Fusion monster. You can also go for the Meteor in the form of the Synchro. Now, each of these will have effects when they're tributed off to get you different resources for your type of plays. So what we're trying to look at here is it looks like we're going to be going back to the field spell on this one, so going straight into the tomb. This is going to be able to set even more interaction. We didn't get to use, or we didn't have to use the Swamp Deity in the previous play either, so I can imagine that Soiree Operatics might get answered directly with that card there.
Yeah, it feels like Aaron's strategy, like assuming he had the Dimension Shifter, is just like, okay, you can get those resources back anyways. I will interact with everything that gets shown on my way. I have enough interactions to not have to think too critically about what's happening. Just don't get the clown and get started. I'm committed.
Yeah. We are committed on this one. So it's going to be quite interesting to see on this one. So we're going to add the Judge of Anubis.
Yeah.
This is going to be able to set ourselves up. So I feel at this point, Aaron's probably starting to out-resource Luna in quite a effective way here, because the Man with the Mark is now going to lead into even more resource. And then once you've got Man with the Mark, your spells and traps are also protected from destruction, or specifically your Odion cards as well. So
it's a bit of the Odion deck does, right? Like, it establishes something, it keeps the field spell, and those resources, once you stop your opponent during their turn, they become strengths for you the turn after. Because you haven't even committed into fusion summoning here, but at some point you might end up summoning the Divine Serpent of Apophis and be able to reset those trap cards.
Yeah, so we were a little bit... I mean, we got the damage in first. It now looks like we're going to be presenting... So they're going to get the Swamp Deity into rotation. That's going to give us another form of negation, which is quite important.
Yeah. Making Silhouette Rabbit might be an option here to interact with the trap card. Basically, it does kind of force it out. Because whenever you summon a monster from the Spawn Trap zone, the Silhouette Rabbit would allow it to destroy a Spawn Trap of the field.
Yeah, so I think we're going to be working our way into the Serpent of Apophis here. The benefit of this one is we get to reset both of these Swamp Deity trap cards, and then that's going to make sure that you've got the ability for the negation. And what you've added to your field now is with the Swamp Apophis, is you've got the ability to, Serpent Apophis, sorry, you've got the ability to destroy a card as well. Yeah,
so that feels a bit overwhelming here for the amount of resources Luna does have. Aaron in a pretty commanding position here.
Yeah, I think at this point it's all about making sure that we don't make any misinformed, or not even misinformed, just not knowing the Clown Crew kind of strategy as much. So what I mean by that is we've kind of moved very fast. Oh, there you go. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring straight away anyway.
Yep.
So we've moved quite fast to use up some of our, to like kind of present more of a field presence. I think Aaron was clearly focused on dealing with that soiree.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think like he's in a position that like there's not a lot of cards on Luna's side. He can just be able to manage, get all his traps back, and the deck just basically gets so much control.
Yeah.
There are 4 set spells and traps into a 1-card hand from Luna, I believe. And there's a bit of the weaknesses of the ritual deck. Sometimes you need multiple cards to play, so if you commit 2 cards, they get stopped by 1 card. You kind of don't get off the ground.
Yeah, and it looks like Luna's going to wrap this one up. So we're going to be moving. A lot of the field-breaking cards we have in the game are more focused to, or like more balanced for your opponent's monsters than they are the spells and traps. So you think of Harpy's Feather Duster and Lightning Storm doing both those jobs. So it's always going to be a little bit more tricky to deal with spells and traps along the spell and trap zones. But once you're able to overcome them, you start to really pick up momentum.
Yeah, so we'll see here starting preparation of rights to get the level 1 clown.
Yeah, Clown Crew Flare on this one. So this is the ideal one you want to try and resolve here. But this is what I also like about the Clown Crews themselves is that there's a lot of cards that tempt your opponent. There's a lot of cards that say, right, I want to reveal this card to search this particular piece. And your opponent's like, ooh, should I interact and shouldn't I? And then if they choose to interact, there's another card that takes its place and goes, absolutely fine. I actually wanted to search with this card anyway. Yeah. And it kind of takes a bit of pressure off of the Clown Crew side as well. They're like, right, I feel a little bit more freely to not need to worry about a particular interaction coming my way.
It does make it really hard for the opponent as well because there's so many layers of attack. There are the rituals, the fusions, the rituals, the synchros, and you don't really know where it's going on if you're not familiar with the strategy. So we see here the Rehearsal, which is a really good card, right? Because you're able to tribute the level 1 clown. Yeah.
So Rehearsal is really, really good because what the Matinee, so we're going to be able to see the Malabrisme get hit with the Ash Blossom, which is the right call. If you are facing against Clown Crew, Ash Blossom on the Malabrisme is you're trading 1 hand interaction for the potential of giving your opponent 2 tribute materials. But it's very important here that Luna searched out the Matinee because the Matinee allows you to summon out one of your tribute materials. And as previously mentioned with Bianca Viso, you can tribute off 1 Fusion Synchro or XZs, even including a Link, which will be coming shortly in Chaos Origins, to summon it to the field. So you don't lose out completely. And the best thing about the Rehearsal is the Rehearsal tributes the monster as well. So straight away, Luna has tributed 2 cards this turn. So as we move to the end phase, that Matinee is going to be allowing Luna to draw 2 cards.
And still set a card.
Correct.
So if in case we draw one of the post-side trap cards.
So we get to draw 1 card off the Bianca Viso, just because it draws cards equal to the number of monsters you tribute for it, and obviously you can tribute 2. And now it looks like we're going to set 2 more cards, and we're going to give Aaron a bit of taste of his own medicine, setting a lot of spells and traps here. So we're now just explaining the Matinee. And are we resolving this one here? So we're just confirming that it's Flare and
yes, so it should be 2, right?
Correct, yeah, it should be 2.
So one of the set cards is the... Oh no, Soiree is face up. So we're going to have 2 unknowns, plus 3 maybe if you draw something.
So Soiree should be face down, because it's just a normal trap card.
Oh.
Yeah,
yeah, fair enough.
The other one, New Face, is a continuous trap card.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So the New Face is actually really good as well during the standby phase, gives you a bit more resource and lets you recycle some of your materials as well.
Ooh, this is even match
and Judgment.
Judgment. So that's how the Odion deck plans to go second. It plans to do it. But you know what's not once per turn? Evenly matched.
Yeah. This is where Solemn Accusation comes into play. That card.
Yeah, we've seen it in a couple rounds before, and it's a pretty popular choice. But here is the good old Solemn Judgment.
Yeah. Nothing beats a good old Solemn Judgment these days. Still a bit of resource in Luna's hand as well. So, I mean, even if there was a second evenly, it wouldn't be nice, but it kind of does limit a little bit more. And that looks a little bit unfamiliar for an Odion style deck, is that there's a lot of spell cards in Aaron's hand.
Yeah, it's interesting because he seems to be able to planning to break through this field. Does Bianca Viso, now that it's on the field, does this do much?
So Bianca Viso has a really nice effect on the field that it gives you the ability to perform a tribute summon.
Okay.
Now, in this current field state, it's not amazing because you ideally want a second monster on the field to either tribute yourself into a second Bianca Viso, and then you can choose to either draw 2 cards or negate 2 cards. But you also have the ability with other type of variants that we have running around right now for the Clown Crews is to tribute into some of the other hybrid decks as well.
Okay, it's going to do any type of tributing. So
correct.
Okay.
That's why sometimes you'll see a Vanity's Fiend or a Majesty's Fiend as well, just to kind of get that on your opponent's turn. Once they've committed cards to the field, you start to not worry about a card like an Infinite Impermanence.
But it does seem like Aaron is doing what Odion does best, which is set cards.
Yeah.
No Man of the Mark resolving, so this is just good, honest set cards. No trap cards being activated turns are set, and it seems to be passing back to Luna. And here's where the clown deck looks really good.
Yes, so it's a very, very simplified kind of field state, but with Matinee already in rotation right now, with Matinee previously in rotation, we're going to see Fallen Virtues. Now, there is actually a way that Luna can get the Matinee back from the graveyard. So we'll see that if Luna has the ability to set that one up. Oh, and it looks like we're going to be able to do something like that with the preparation of rights. So this is going to get us exactly into our Clown Crew Flare. Clown Crew Flare will ultimately be revealed here. This will then allow us to add either a Clown Crew Malabaresme, or we're going to be adding a Clown Crew Rehearsal, which will get us a second copy of the Bianca Viso, or going straight for the Clown Crew face to utilize its graveyard effect.
Yeah, so it allows you to... you can shuffle back the Clown Crew spells and traps, so you're able to recycle like the Matinee we've just missed to maybe access the turn after.
Correct, and because it was sent to the garage, you also get to place it face up on the field, so it's active this turn.
Yeah. So this is probably how we plan to get back to Matinee.
Yeah, so you can get Matinee back through the new face or through Clown Crew Meteor, which is the synchro monster from the extra deck. When you tribute it, it lets you add one of your Clown Crews from the graveyard back to the hand. So
cool.
Clown Crew have pretty much every area covered for now, which is really, really exciting.
And we might be seeing Malabarism resolve this time, unless Aaron has an answer here. It doesn't seem so, so we'll be summoning the synchro monster that you aforementioned, the Meteor.
Yeah. So one very important thing to remember as well with all of the Clown Crew extra deck monsters is that they all provide continuous effects. So they're not activate effects, but they can all provide continuous effects to certain aspects. So the Meteor doesn't allow your opponent to respond when you conduct a tribute summon.
Oh, okay.
The Fiends gives your tribute summon monsters an additional 1,000 attack. And we're going to tribute off both of those for Bianca Viso, and we're also going to trigger off the new face to attempt to destroy Aaron's set Speller Trap.
Yeah, so now you just see like the advantage that gets built up by all of those effects. Basically, you create this big chain of things, and you can really interact with all of it. There will be a super polymerization being destroyed here. Importantly, you can't super polymerization both Bianca Visos into like Garura or something, because they have the same name.
So I believe... target other spells or traps on the field up to number of tribute. Yeah, exactly that. So because they're exact duplicates, they're the same name, same attributes, nothing of that is super poly available.
Yeah, now we just see Luna going through the motions here.
Yeah, so I think at this point it's going to be a bit of a slow drain for Aaron on this one, because we're going to get two Bianca Visas going to attack. And then what's going to happen now is during the end phase, Luna is going to be able to draw, I believe, 4. Yeah. If I counted correctly, because we got rid of the XE, we tributed off the XEs, we tributed off the Synchro, tributed off the Ritual Monster, I believe. Okay, we didn't tribute off the Fusion Monster this turn, so we're going to be able to draw 3.
I think 3 is enough. I think we can live with 3.
I mean, the question is, there's no space along the spell and trap zones to set cards. So,
oh no! How hard? How hard? I can't set my next counter trap. I guess I'll settle for having 6 cards in hand.
Yeah, pretty healthy hand size that one.
I think he's resolving the Fallen Virtues because it sent an Albion at the end.
Yeah. So grab the Fallen Virtuous. I mean, it's still quite daunting to think that there's 3 unknown cards along Luna's spell and trap zone as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Odion deck is really not good at dealing with boards. This is one of the criticisms of this deck sometimes. It's really good going first when it gets to establish its traps, but it does struggle for 2 sometimes to like break and establish field.
Yeah, I don't think Aaron was too pleased with his top deck on that one there, so kind of saw the writing on as well.
Yeah, Drawn Lock Bird can be a weird card into the Odion deck, because sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really mediocre, but I believe you might just have to go for the angle and try to hope it's a hand with multiple pots and search cards. But we do see a set 1.
Set 2. Is there no starter here for Aaron?
It doesn't look like. I mean, the traps are starters.
Very true, yes. Eventually.
Do we see a set 5 into Harvest Feather Duster? We've seen a couple of those on live streams.
We have. We've had some pretty famous ones of those.
Oh, I guess not, because we have the
Lord of the Heavenly Prisons.
That's a way of countering a possible Storm Dust.
Ooh, I thought Luna was contemplating a Gamma there. I was like, the only thing that could react to Lord of the Heavenly Prison would be a Gamma.
So there's an interesting decision here from Luna. Maybe you don't Gamma it, and you Gamma it during your own turn.
Yes.
Because then you're able to make use of the materials of the Gamma as tribute fodder, right, for your Conqueror cards.
Yeah, very, very true.
Or like to make like a second, like a lamp that we mentioned.
Yeah, I suppose if you open up Gamma and you also open up Delta as well, that could be a little bit risky because you'd only be able to use one of them at that point unless you're playing 2 driver, which would be crazy.
That would be crazy, but unless you're playing pure side frames. But we do see here, and do you see the Delta being discarded from the Conqueror? There's a cool thing because Flare requires a discard. You can play cards that can be more potentially not resolvable, like the Delta, and you can use them as discard fodder.
Malabaresme. Is this one going to resolve?
This card is really scary. I feel like if you're Aaron, you have to respect it. And yeah there's a solemn warning.
Yeah, I completely agree. Malabaresme is the most effective card.
Now,
Conqueror.
is revealing the Lord of Heavenly Prison. Do we see a Gamma? Because this Gamma is also 3,500 damage, right? Like the warning pay 2,000, the Gamma is 3,500 on the field.
True.
That plus Bianco Viso? that's 6,000.
Ooh, are we trying to summon it? We are.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we do seem they're going to be activating the Gamma on the activation of the Lord of Heavenly Prison.
Ooh, okay.
So very, very heads up play by Luna that she wouldn't be able of using it on the Odion turn, but chose to actually hold on until their turn.
Very, very well heads up there.
And you see, they're in attack. They're ready to punch.
I mean, I suppose if you're able to get another monster to the field, you just leave the driver on the field, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going for the punch.
So the other thing that's actually pretty interesting is attacking first here plays around cards like multiple solemn warnings and solemn accusations.
True.
Because if you do that, they don't have the life points to pay for it, and it allows you to resolve those cards.
Yeah, very, very true. Is there a Gamma? Is there an Omega?
No,
no
that would be a good Omega.
Yeah.
Oh, we do see a super polymerization being used, discarding. Is that an Apophis?
Yeah. Yes, Apophis Swamp Deity.
Wait, that seems. Is that happening in the end phase? Because he took the damage, right?
It looks like they took the damage. Yeah.
So assuming they take the damage. No, it's not in the end phase though. Or like the end of the battle phase? Maybe he didn't take the damage. I think that's the most likely scenario, is that it was just on the attack declaration.
Yeah, I would assume that. Ooh, okay. So again, still no starter for Aaron from the looks of this. So we're just going to go Garura and attack for 3,000 damage.
Yep.
We know that there is still a Flare in Luna's hand, so that can get everything processing a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I guess the answer is if there's going to be another disruption against a Malabaresme.
Yeah.
Was that culinary confrontation off the top? It was.
Ooh.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, this card is really strong here. The one downside is you're potentially giving Aaron link material for his Garura.
Yeah, very true.
In case like you don't get to address the board. So you'll be able to link the Garura, draw a card, maybe make a Silhouette Rabbit. But this is going to give out a second copy of Solemn Warning. So if life points are correct, we're at 500 here.
This is very big though, because if Luna can get that Bianca Viso to the field, so there's the Flare. We knew the Flare was coming. I would like to think that Aaron has something, because you already know the Flare's there, right? So
yeah, but it's really hard from Aaron's position here, because being so low life in a deck doesn't have actually a lot of guys with very big attack points. It means that anything you leave in an attack position, you're successful to just like a Bianco Viso swing.
Yeah. Now we just need to complete the materials for the Bianca Viso, which we have with Malabaresme. And I think Luna is trying to be cautious here, because we are in a position now that if the Malabaresme does get stopped, is it once? I think you can only...
I can only use each effect once per turn, right? Yeah.
But you can't. So you can't use. I think you can't use both effects. Like the turn it's sent to the graveyard.
Yeah, but this is the one for
correct.
the previous turn,
exactly.
right? So this was already there, allowing it to return a card to the hand. So
I'm surprised we returned the Garura.
I guess there is no follow-up play here. This way, like all the Garura, because if you don't have a follow-up play, there's no point in interacting with the Spawn Trap.
I'm pretty sure Luna has Malabaresme and a Bianca Viso in the hand.
Oh, maybe we do. Okay, so we're going to try to resolve Malabaresme, because we could then theoretically just have gotten rid of the Spawn Trap card, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, I think at this point here, the only thing of any type of protection that maybe Aaron would have here would be a judgment, because the life points are too low for anything else.
Yeah, because you can.
The only other, if it's a Swamp Deity or a Apophis the Serpent, at least you could summon to be a bit more defensive.
Yeah.
But then you're still Odion are then still relying on that top deck to. And that's going to be a very, very tricky ask that your single top deck is going to kickstart your plays.
Yeah, exactly. And then we do see the Bianco Visa resolving here, and that's where it gets out of hand. Bianco Visa resolving, we're able to set a trap, set a spell, a matinee, and the face. And like you have to do something to this Bianco Visa, otherwise it's game.
Yeah.
And even if you do, you have all the pressure by the continuous cards.
Yeah, I think also as well, once we get to the end, if we do get to the end phase of this turn, I believe Luna's going to be drawing 2 to 3 more cards, in addition to the 2 that she already has. So that's going to be very quickly open up to a 5-card hand.
Yeah, so you'll see just like a Phobos Trap card being used to block the damage that would be coming from the... Huh? Oh, is that?
Yeah, that's exactly what you think it is. Yeah.
That is an enemy controller, one of Kaiba's cards.
Yeah.
Very, very good card. You see that a lot on Time Wizard, and you're seeing it here to take over an Aphobis. And it's a cool synergy with this deck because as a tribute, so you're able to